Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back to another non-gameplay video. So yesterday we got the latest banned and restricted announcements and it has, I think a lot of people expected the cards banned, but I just want to quickly talk about something. I'm not going to talk about too much about the banned cards themselves, but I have titled this video, "This is what's wrong with Magic today." But I want to talk about the reasoning around one specific card and why it highlights, I think, where Wizards are increasingly getting things wrong, and it's Screaming Nemesis. So if you don't know what Screaming Nemesis is, played it a few times on the channel. Instead of wearing standard, 3 mana, 3/3 of haste. Whenever Screaming Nemesis is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target. If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game. It's also just a bit of history about Mono Red. Mono Red is always a very, very popular deck because it is cheap with mana costs. It is fast and you can just rack up wins. And in the recent past, we have seen Leyline of Resonance banned in Best of One, which obviously is what I play on Brawl, so it's basically banned in Standard. Heartfire Hero, which we see just been banned in Pioneer, has been banned in Standard. Monstrous Rage, and now Screaming Nemesis. So it has had mono red or Boros red white aggro has lost a lot of cards recently, just to show how powerful it is. But if we go down to the text around Screaming Nemesis, so it says here, Screaming Nemesis is among the strongest cards in the default mono red aggro deck. Yep, and one of the most frustrating cards to play against in the deck. It single-handedly removes most counterplay against mono red by giving the mono red deck a great game plan against two of mono red's natural predators, life gain and large blockers. And this sentence is what I take issue with. Not that it's wrong, it is 100% true, but my reaction when I read this was, well, yeah, what did they expect? They print a card that is intentionally designed to be able to take on mono red's natural predators, life gain and large blockers. Mono red, if you have a life gain deck, usually you just win because they often burn out, and if you can just gain life before if you gain life until they're in top mode, you're likely to win. And then if you get down one or two big blockers, you can just stop them attacking. And obviously Screaming Nemesis completely stops that because, if you block with, say, a 4/4, or if you have a 4/4, they still attack. Yeah, their Screaming Nemesis dies, but they can take out that 4/4 with the trigger or go face with you to you and stop you gaining life. And I read it and I was just so shocked because, yeah, you print cards like that, of course they're going to be an issue. And it calls back, I think, to some recent stories or in the last couple of years. So one of the most famous ones is Nadu Winged Wisdom, which I think actually has been banned in Legacy yet. So if you don't know Nadu, 3 mana, 3/4 with flying, and it says creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes a target of a spell ability, from the top card of your library, it's a land card, put it on the battlefield, otherwise put it in your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. And the thing is, that is twice per creature. So if you have 5 creatures and you have ways to target your own creatures, you can get basically 10 of those triggers per turn. And that is not hard to do. And after it came out, Wizards did basically explain that they had previously designed Nadu, and I can't remember what the previous design was, but it just wasn't very good. So they redesigned it and didn't play test it at all. And they didn't realise how powerful it was going to be. And also with VV, they, when before it was banned, obviously, I think the first few weeks or months after Final Fantasy, Wizards did come out. I think it was Gavin Verhey did come out and basically say, yeah, we knew it was going to be really powerful, but we wanted to see how it would get on. And it does just seem they are taking a much more relaxed, laissez-faire approach to not necessarily card design, but testing. Like, they didn't test Nado at all. They knew VV was going to be broken and let it go ahead. And yeah, they made a card specifically designed to hate on mono red's nemesises. And then they ban it because it does that, it does that too well. It is just like, yeah, maybe spend a bit more time designing cards properly and fairly, not doing that and then having to ban them, because I don't think players like seeing cards banned, but they are just too ridiculous. But the problem is, because they're only banned like once every 6 months or around then, you're waiting then too long for a ban. Like, VV should have been banned at the last banning rounds. Interestingly as well, obviously, don't play, well, I suppose we can play Pioneer in Arena now, but obviously Legacy, Pauper. Historic's interesting. So with the upcoming Avatar set, in the special guests, they have reprints of older cards with, some of them have different names, avatar related names, and they all have avatar related art, but some of them are pre-banned. Force Negation is going to be on Arena for the first time. It's a potentially free counter spell. It can only counter non-creature spells and it exiles it, but if it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay a spell's mana cost, so you can keep up a counter spell without having mana up, which is I imagine it's going to be very annoying in Brawl. Frantic Search, draw 2, discard 2, untap 3 lands for 3. That's been pre-banned. Mystical Tutor, search your library for instant sorcery card, put it on top. Well, shuffle, then put it on top. And it's an instant, so you can do it at the end of your opponent's turn. So basically, your next, you know what your next card draw is going to be. Entomb, 1 mana, search your library for a card in your graveyard. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. Again, it's an instant, so you can get your best creature into your graveyard and then reanimate it. And then Dark Depths as well, which is, I will be playing this in Timeless. So it's a land but doesn't produce mana. It enters with 10 ice counters on it. You can pay 3 to remove an ice counter from the Boy in the Iceberg is the avatar name. And then whenever it has no ice counters on it, you sacrifice it and create a 2020 Marit Lage, legendary 2020 black avatar creature token flying indestructible. So the combo is, you have this down, and then you the Suvian Sage get it down, copy it. Because you copy it, it doesn't have any ice counters on it. It immediately sacrifices itself to become a 2020 Marit Lage, and you can do that on turn 3, I think, or maybe quicker with fast mana. But there are some bans in Brawl which I find interesting. So interestingly, Mana Drain is banned, and I don't know exactly what they say about it. Let's have a quick look if I can find it quickly. Mana Drain, I think, yeah, they do say it doesn't, overall win rate's never been high, but basically it's just incredibly annoying. If you have it in your opening hand, it's such a blowout for your opponent. And yeah, I never thought it was that bad. Yeah, it's frustrating, but so be it. They've banned Strip Mine not long after introducing it. I have seen people comment that, you know, they released an anthology which has Strip Mine and other Strip Mine related things like Wrenn and 6, which lets you get a land back from your graveyard, so you can have land recursion in your command zone. You just play Strip Mine, remove your opponent's best land or any land, then Wrenn and 6 it back, and so on and so on and so on. And obviously, if you have ways to play multiple lands, it just gets ridiculous. I see people say they release that, wait for people to buy them, and then ban Strip Mine, which I know. I am a cynic. I understand why people will be frustrated at that. But then, yeah, Ancient Tomb and Chromox. Chromox has been around in Brawl for a while, and obviously, yeah, they can lead to some very fast starts. You can Ancient Tomb into an Arcane Signet or a Talisman of whatever and have 4 mana on turn 2. But again, why put, these are old cards, why put them on Brawl if, well, put them in Arena if you're immediately going to ban them or pretty quickly ban them? It doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. And Ancient Tomb does hurt you, and there's no way to, you know, you can't tap it for 1 colourless without hurting you, so it does have a downside. So that'll be interesting to shake up the format a bit. But I don't find Brawl that troublesome because it's 1 out of 99 cards. You can't really rely on it. Obviously, yes, lands, you can find ways to search them up, and once you can, you know, recycle Strip Mine from your graveyard. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure I need to ban those. But yeah, really interesting about the standard bans. And as I said, Screaming Nemesis, I think, just highlights the issues that there are with Magic at the moment of just poorly designed cards and then acting surprised about it. So just wanted to put this video out there. So I'm not doing a lot of videos at the moment. Avatar does come out next week. There have been requests for a couple of Brawl videos, so I'll probably do those in a few days, so stay tuned for those. Please remember to like and subscribe. I hope you all enjoy it, and I'll see you all in my next video.